G'day everyone, Sid here. I've actually got a day off today and been spending a little bit of time in the shed, and I was just having a little play around with my new VicMarc VM100 with the 48mm shark jaws on it, and I just thought I'd line it up alongside my Supernova 2 with what the nearest thing that Nova have to the shark jaws on, and just do some comparisons and just let people see what we're looking at. So the Nova with the insert is around about the $250 mark to suit my lathe. You're looking at both sets of jaws about the same price. They're both about $70 ish for the jaw set. The VicMark Chuck is dedicated thread, so there's no insert. It's a M30. I bought the companion Chuck, and it was a little bit dearer than what the base model Nova was with the standard jaws. I didn't get jaws with the VicMark. Deliberate choice. I didn't really need to have another set of standard jaws, so economics said get the bare chuck and put the jaws you want on it. So first up, if we have a look from the side, the Nova does have significantly longer jaws, and that does have its advantage. I have found that quite handy a couple of times doing some of my off-balance driftwood turnings, where I've been able to drill into a deep recess and use the Nova jaw in expansion mode, like a deep mortise, to be able to turn the base. So the measurements, so the internal diameter of the Nova is around about, say, 37 mil. The internal diameter of the VicMarc is around about 33 mil. Let's not quibble over little bits. The external diameter of the Supernova or the Nova Chuck is about 52. The VicMarc is about, it's a little bit harder to see there because it's a black set of jaws, is about 45. Now, this is called a 48mm set of shark jaws, and the reason it's measuring 45, that's fully closed. 48mm, to my understanding, is the ideal measurement for the external diameter if you were going into a mortise for peak grip, where it's a circle at 48mm. I'd have to have a look at the data on it to see what it is on the inside, but I suppose it's 3 mil more basically, isn't it? So if it's 32, it's probably 35mm internal on the mortise to be a perfect circle. So both of these would have that same issue. It's not quite a perfect circle fully closed. Then, so the VicMarc Chuck, essentially, as these two chucks are sitting here, the VicMarc Chuck probably cost me about $50 more. Okay, so that's not to be sneezed at. But here's where you save it, just on this one setup. So let's open the Nova right out. And let's open the VicMarc right out. Oops, I've done that up a bit tighter than I thought. Here we go. So let's open the VicMarc right out. Let's open the it's still going. Let's open the VicMarc. Let's open this VicMarc. Oh, it could be here a week. We'll open it right out, shall we? Let's see where we go to. There we go. So now we have, on fully expanded, the internal diameter is 60 mil, and the external is 75. So now let's have a look at the VicMarc. So the VicMarc, the internal diameter, I'm not sure where it'll be shortest, probably corner to corner maybe. Corner to corner it's about 69. And on the outside It's about 88. It's a bit harder to see there. So just in that, the range of motion you've got between those two chucks means that essentially, and I realise that's not your ideal holding capacity, taking all that on board, but if you're doing a piece and you're working around and you're just starting to set a piece up, then you've got a much bigger range to work with this chuck than you do with this chuck without changing jaws. So for me to go to there with the Supernova 2, I'd nearly have to put a different set of jaws on it. And this is another Supernova 2 with the 100mm jaws on it, and there's one in between, I believe. I reckon there's a 75mm. Now the VicMark doesn't quite get to there, but I'll tell you what, if you went one size of shark jaw up, so you'd be able to work with two sets of shark jaws and cover the same range of diameters on the VicMark VM100 as it would take probably 3 or 4 sets of these extended jaws on the Nova. So I still think the Nova is a very good chuck, and I like my Novas. But if you're talking about that extra spend, and that's one of the features on the VicMark that I think, and this is my personal opinion, makes that extra spend worthwhile. Advantage with the Nova is that extra depth for some things. The advantage with the VicMark is that range of movement, and I've only used that depth once in all the stuff I've turned. So there you go, just a little short comparison. And I'm not meaning to, for value for money, I think the Nova's a good chuck and it's got a big range of jaws. I haven't looked through all the range on VicMark. They may even have a bigger range of jaws, but what I have picked up is the range of movement within one jaw set is much bigger on the VicMark chuck. So that's something to consider when you're looking at purchasing a chuck. All right, thank you very much for having a look, folks. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will be hopefully getting some more videos up soon. So we're sitting here on top of, this is all being done on top of Little Willie, my new WL 1220. I have a nice big piece of red gum on Big Willie at the moment. Well, not big, it's 12 inches. Big Willie can handle much bigger than that, but it's going to be a red gum platter. I'm halfway through turning that, and I am videoing it, so that will come up at some time in the future on YouTube as well. And I've got a few other little small projects in mind here on this one. Some of them might even be done as lives, and that's what sort of brought about the idea of this, because I was looking at holding some pieces for a couple of jobs and which chuck was going to be the better one to do it, and I found that I can do it all with this one chuck. It goes small enough and it goes big enough. This one only just goes big enough, and it doesn't go small enough. So, right, thank you very much, guys. Please like, subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you again, and I'll watch for comments. Thank you.